Have you ever truly peered into the minds of the world's most successful individuals? I mean, really wondered.
Yeah, like, is their success rooted in just raw genius or sheer luck?
Or is there something, fundamentally different about how they approach life?
Uh,
Today, we're embarking on a deep dive to try and uncover what truly makes billionaires tick.
and we're drawing from over 100 hours of candid, pretty intimate conversations.
Right.
Our aim in this deep dive is really to pull out the most surprising truths, about their core motivations, the hidden costs of extreme wealth.
Things you don't always think about.
Exactly, and their unique philosophy of success. And critically, we want to explore how these insights might actually influence your own path.
Your own approach to achievement and, well, personal fulfillment.
Yeah.
This deep dive is based on a really remarkable document, like you said, born from those frank, no-holds-barred conversations.
It gives us this unique window, really, into a mindset most of us just wonder about.
Okay, so let's start right there, at the heart of it.
Yeah.
What did the source reveal about how these individuals think?
What's actually going on in their heads?
Yeah, because, many of us wrestle with that internal conflict, right? That feeling of unrealized potential.
Dreams pushed aside.
Pushed aside by just the immediate demands of life. The source actually calls this the postponement trap.
Ah, right, where we end up kind of dedicating our efforts to others' goals instead of our own.
Exactly.
And what jumps out almost immediately is how the source points to what it calls the most dangerous delusion.
Okay, what's that?
It's the normalization of mediocrity.
Normalizing mediocrity.
Yeah, that pervasive belief that your current state, maybe stagnant, is just normal.
Like, oh, everyone's like this, so it must be okay.
Precisely. And that, according to these insights, is the fundamental split, the point where billionaires start to diverge.
So the first really foundational observation isn't necessarily that billionaires think smarter than everyone else,
No, not necessarily smarter.
but they think with an absolutely different angle of view.
Yeah, on priorities, on money, on life itself.
Okay, so what does that imply then about success? Is it teachable?
Well, it profoundly suggests that, extraordinary success isn't just about some innate genius you can't learn.
Right.
It's more about cultivated strategic ways of thinking, frameworks,
Okay.
these different angles of view. They aren't fixed traits you're just born with.
So you can develop them?
Exactly. They are crucially learned or developed perspectives, which makes these insights incredibly actionable, really, for anyone looking to grow.
Okay, that's powerful. Now let's turn to something that might really challenge our assumptions. We're often taught, that becoming a billionaire is the ultimate achievement, the absolute peak.
The symbol of success.
Yeah, the speaker even talks about his own youthful ambition, looking at Forbes magazines, that kind of thing.
We've all been there, maybe.
But what did these conversations actually reveal about money, about its power to motivate long-term?
It's quite striking, actually. The source reveals that for many of these individuals, money ceases to motivate them at very early stages.
Really?
Early stages. Yeah, it really speaks to this idea of diminishing returns on just piling up material stuff.
How so?
Well, the speaker gives this vivid example from their own locale, saying, okay, maybe increasing your income from a comfortable level, say 100,000 units,
Right.
to a very significant 5 million units a month. That brings undeniable lifestyle improvements, sure.
Of course.
But getting to, say, 10 or 20 million monthly, often it just results in a plateau.
A plateau.
Yeah, where your life practically doesn't change. Your basic needs, even big luxuries, multiple homes, cars, fancy travels, they're already more than covered.
That's truly counterintuitive. So if the houses, the cars, the helicopters, if those desires are met so quickly,
What's left?
yeah, what becomes the driving force? What inspires them if it's not just more money or buying all the trinkets?
And this is where you see the transformation. Their capital, their wealth, it shifts
Shifts how?
from being the goal itself into becoming a powerful resource, a tool.
A tool for what?
It gives them the opportunity to do absolutely what you want.
Freedom.
Freedom to pursue much grander projects, things like building research centers or massive charity initiatives, or even, quite literally, launching rockets to Mars.
Wow.
So this pursuit of scale, of influence, of leaving a significant mark that's presented as a much more long-term, more beneficial goal.
Beneficial for them and potentially society.
Often, yeah. The speaker even points to their own free crypto community as an example of this kind of evolved motivation in action.
Okay, let's keep unpacking these misconceptions, because another big one is that immense wealth just equals pure happiness,
Yes.
freedom from all problems.
Easy straight.
What did the speaker's conversations say about that?
Quite the opposite, actually.
Ooh.
The insights paint a picture of a huge amount of headaches, real burdens.
Headaches like what?
Well, highly complex questions, like how to store your assets, how to distribute them, how to protect them, especially with global instability.
I guess just holding huge sums in a bank isn't straightforward.
No, it becomes a significant risk in itself.
Yeah.
And this leads to a really crucial psychological point.
What's the psychological side of it? Because I'm just imagining the cost of error for someone like that. It's not losing a few $100. It could be tens or even hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right. Can you imagine that weight?
That must be immense. An immense psychological burden. How does that affect them day to day?
It's profound. And the source makes this fascinating observation that many people, maybe unconsciously, they actually block their own development, or they hinder themselves from earning more.
Why would they do that?
The source calls it a banal protective function of our organism.
A protective function.
Yeah, almost like creating a self-imposed psychological ceiling to shield our minds, our psyche, from the massive stress and responsibility that extreme success can bring.
Wow. So the source basically concludes that the volume of money is always directly proportional to the volume of problems and responsibilities you receive.
Pretty much. Your burden grows with your bank account.
But does it actually crap them? You hear stories. Are these billionaires kind of prisoners of their own success?
That's exactly what the insights suggest. They often become hostages.
Hostages.
Yeah, hostages of the very resources, the empires they've built, their partners, investors, clients, counterparties.
Everyone involved.
Everyone involved has effectively captured his life, as the source puts it, making it almost impossible for them to just, downshift.
Never walk away.
Even if they wanted to. It's like this golden cage.
The golden cage.
Yeah.
Highlights a profound loss of personal autonomy, doesn't it? Despite all the wealth.
It really does.
Which I guess forces us to ask ourselves a tough question. When you look at that scale, what problems, what responsibilities are really on the other side of massive wealth?
And maybe you don't genuinely need as much as you think you want.
It's a sobering thought. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. We hear this all the time, right? This idea of having everything and at once.
The dream life.
Yeah. Stellar career, perfect health, thriving family, great friends, travel, money, the whole package.
People make these huge goal lists, like the wheel of balance idea maybe, expecting everything to move forward together.
Exactly. But what did the reality gleaned from these super successful entrepreneurs suggest?
A very different story. They experience constant competition.
Competition with rivals?
Well, yes, but also, crucially, competition between your personal goals.
So your own goals are fighting each other for resources.
For time.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that internal conflict, how does that hinder us from achieving anything truly significant?
So what's the key takeaway there? Is balance a myth?
The takeaway is incredibly impactful. The source says you can achieve absolutely any goal if you focus on it. Big statement.
Okay,
But
okay.
The critical nuance is it's impossible to achieve 100 goals in parallel.
Which directly challenges that whole idea of getting everything at once. And yeah, maybe it does refute the concept of balance, at least as we often picture it.
So high achievement requires imbalance.
That's a critical point the source makes. It often requires a period of imbalance, a deliberate, really intense focus of resources on one main goal.
Understanding that other areas might suffer temporarily.
Exactly. Knowing that. It means making tough choices, honestly identifying priorities, and figuring out the sequence of actions maybe for several years.
You have to really assess what is most significant for you today.
Honestly assess it, yeah.
So what this boils down to, according to the speaker, is that the absolute majority, absolutely all huge results in life are achieved precisely by renouncing the superfluous.
Cutting things out.
Yeah. You see it clearly in the lives of these great, outstanding entrepreneurs who dedicated their whole lives to business. But are those sacrifices really necessary? Is that the only way?
Well, according to these insights, often yes. It's a truth maybe not often talked about.
What kind of sacrifices?
Frequently, they sacrificed health, family, friends, travel, hobbies, the brightness of life. things many of us cherish.
Wow.
You see it with elite athletes too, right? They put everything on the line for their sport.
And sometimes feel lost afterwards.
Exactly, because of that singular, all-consuming focus.
Which leads us to a pretty direct question for you, listening right now.
Yeah.
Are you really ready for that kind of singular focus?
Yeah.
And the potential sacrifices it demands?
It's a big question.
Definitely. Okay, let's tackle another common trap.
Let's do it.
This belief that you absolutely have to invent something genius, something totally new, never existed before to hit it big.
Right, the eureka moment fallacy.
Yeah. And people pour tons of resources into that pursuit, thinking it's the only way to make a fortune.
But what did the data, the conversations actually reveal about how most billionaires got there? Is it always groundbreaking innovation?
I have a feeling the answer is no.
You'd be right. Surprisingly, the statistical secret, as the source calls it, is that most billionaires in the world did not create anything new.
Really, most.
Most. Now, their businesses might develop some internal know-how, sure, but they're huge fortunes. They were not built on inventions in that classic sense.
So the exceptions, the Jobs, Musks, Zuckerbergs, they are exceptions.
Exactly. The speaker emphasizes they're anomalies, not the main mass. If you just glance through Forbes lists,
What do you see?
you mostly see understandable systemic business. Things like retail, products, clothing, factories, steamships, that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's fascinating. So if the secret isn't inventing the next iPhone, what is it then?
The secret, according to the source, is not to invent something new,
Okay.
but to do what you can and what the market needs, but just a little bit better than others.
How much better?
Just 10% better.
Just 10%. That's it.
That's the core idea. It's about consistent, incremental improvement, not necessarily revolution.
Okay, how does that actually play out? Can you give some examples?
Sure. Think about, say, property developers in a really crowded market.
Right. Lots of competition.
Yeah. Success often comes not from some radical new building type, but from a slightly more interesting project. Maybe a better location, cooler renovation, better service, a better design project.
Or just some little features and nuances.
Exactly. Those small, consistent improvements add up and lead to victory over time.
Okay, what about another industry? Like restaurants.
Same principle. Opening a restaurant with some supernatural novelty probably won't bring you 10 times the profit.
Maybe a small bump.
Maybe, yeah, perhaps 5–20% more, the source suggests. But systematically opening each subsequent restaurant with slightly better quality than others, maybe more features, a better location.
Doing that consistently.
Consistently, over time, that can build a large global company that brings an entire fortune. It's about compounding those small advantages. Quality and execution.
Success is systemic work on quality, not just a flash of genius.
That's the takeaway.
So following on from that, it seems like getting comfortable, feeling like you've made it, can actually be dangerous.
Very dangerous, according to the source. When life is comfortable, we tend to save ourselves, right? Settle in.
Yeah, coast a little.
But the warning is the modern world changes so fast. Way faster than most people can adapt.
Faster than we realize.
Absolutely. So trying to just cling to that comfort zone today, the source argues it will actually cost significantly more than proactively choosing to leave it.
Wow. So staying still is falling behind? What does that mean for staying relevant then, if things are good?
It's a stark warning, really. If life is going great, the number one task isn't to relax.
No.
No, it's not to stop for a second. It's to use those resources, those opportunities to run forward, strengthen, develop.
Keep pushing?
Yeah, the speaker uses this great metaphor. To stay in place, you need to run up a downward escalator.
Huh. Okay, I get that. You could keep moving just to not slide back.
Exactly. Without that constant effort, constant development, you inevitably fall behind.
Which brings up a big question for all of us, doesn't it?
What's that?
Do you embrace change proactively? Do you make that decision yourself? Stay in control.
While things are still good.
Yeah. Or do you just wait? Wait until life forces your hand. What happens if you just freeze in that comfort zone?
Well, the source is pretty blunt about that. If you don't act, pretty soon life itself will just shake you out and you'll lose control.
Ouch.
It won't be your choice anymore. It'll be because, as the speaker vividly puts it, life gave you a concrete kick in the pants.
Forcing you to change whether you like it or not.
Exactly. And the speaker is really categorical here. There is no question if it will happen or not. It will absolutely happen. The only question is when.
So, embracing challenge, even when things are good, has clear benefits then.
Absolutely. It makes you adaptive, flexible, experienced, ready for anything. Discomfort, it seems, is the real path to resilience.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, unpacking these insights into the billionaire mindset. What does this all mean for you listening?
How can you actually use this?
Yeah, well, let's talk practical tools. How can you apply some of these perspectives to your own life, your own path?
Okay.
The speaker offers one technique described as very simple but high quality. It's called the 2-year retrospective.
The 2-year retrospective. How does it work?
You simply ask yourself this question. Would you like to live the last 2 years of your life again?
That's direct. Why 2 years?
Well, the power here, the source says, is objectivity. Evaluating your life based on how you feel today.
Can be skewed by your mood.
Exactly, it's subjective.
Yeah.
But a 2-year period,
Yeah.
it gives you a much more objective picture. It's much higher quality and more useful for real reflection.
Okay, I see. So what do the answers mean?
If your answer is a joyful yes, then all is okay, you're absolutely on the right path. Keep going.
And if it's no,
If it's no, or even a hesitant maybe, then it is absolutely time to change something in your life.
clear signal.
A clear signal. And this technique works for any area: career, relationships, health. It helps you figure out if you're running not after what I truly want.
Which leads naturally to that deeper, maybe tougher self-assessment.
Which is
What do you really want?
Yeah, because the speaker makes a point of saying not everyone needs or desires extreme wealth. That's okay.
Absolutely. Some people genuinely prefer a more measured pace or maybe creative pursuits, even if it means less income.
And that, the source stresses, is absolutely normal. It just represents a completely different life strategy.
So it's vital to check your clock regularly, as the source puts it.
Yeah, check in with yourself. Make sure you're heading down the path that aligns with your values, your aspirations, not someone else's.
Got it.
And finally, there's this crucial point the speaker makes. It really shifts the perspective on wealth and opportunity.
Okay, what is it?
The problem isn't just a lack of money floating around in the world.
No.
No, the bigger issue might be a lack of qualities in people. Qualities needed to be trusted with money.
Wow, okay. Flip the script.
Exactly. It's a fascinating perspective. The source actually contends that the world has much more money than people to trust it with.
So investors are actively looking.
Actively looking, according to this view, for worthy people and worthy projects to give capital to.
Right. They need reliable places to put their money.
So what does that ultimately mean for you, for the listener?
Where should the focus be?
It suggests the focus shouldn't just be on chasing money, but on developing your own core qualities.
Like what?
Things like work ethic, dedication, responsibility, willingness to delve in, solve absolutely any tasks and problems, real grit and reliability. If you possess those, then you become worth your weight in gold. And instead of you chasing opportunities, investors and partners will hunt for you.
Develop the qualities and the resources might follow.
That's the idea.
You know, this whole deep dive, it really reveals something fundamental. Success, especially on that grand scale, it isn't just about talent you're born with or getting lucky.
No, it seems much more deliberate.
It's about a cultivated mindset, a whole series of deliberate, often really challenging choices.
Understanding how motivation changes, moving beyond just money.
Right. Embracing significant responsibility, making those focused sacrifices we talked about.
Committing to that consistent, 10% better, gradual improvement.
Yeah, and crucially, dedicating yourself to continuous adaptation, never settling.
These aren't just, secrets for billionaires, are they?
Not at all. They feel like profound principles for anyone seeking true impact, true personal growth in their own life, whatever that looks like for them.
So what does this all mean for you as you process this?
What's the big takeaway?
Well, here's a final thought for you to chew on, something to really mull over.
Okay.
If it's true, as the source suggests, that the volume of money is always directly proportional to the volume of problems and responsibilities.
It's a trade-off.
Exactly. How does truly understanding that fundamental trade-off change your own definition of success? And maybe more importantly, what amount of that burden, that responsibility, are you truly willing to take on for your deepest aspirations?